Hi everybody, so today is yet another in January foundation review. They are just not stopping, these releases. So this one is from Givenchy, the PRISME LIBRE Glow Serum Foundation. And I did a full wear test on this yesterday, which I filmed for you, and I'm going to try it on for you again today with some slightly different methods, which hopefully will improve some of the issues I had yesterday. And I've got this new mascara from Haus to try. This is the B Structural Volumizing Lengthening Mascara. Had to check my notes there because that is one long title. And I've also picked up one of the new lipstick matte shades from Prada, so I'm going to finish by trying that one on. So a couple of new things to try today. So really looking forward to getting started with this. And if you're new here, hi, my name's Hannah. I'm 48. I'm not a professional. I'm just somebody who loves makeup and beauty. And here on my channel, I review the latest products, show you my favorite looks, and give you any beauty news you might be interested in. If you think you'd enjoy this, please do subscribe to my channel. It's ever so helpful to me. And if you're already subscribed, thank you so much for being here and welcome back. And my skin type, I've got fair to light skin with neutral/cool undertones, and I've got combination skin, which is mostly dry but with a slightly oily T-zone. Anyway, that's enough about me. Let's get straight into this video. So I haven't heard much about this launching, so I don't know if anyone watching this can enlighten me on anything to do with this, but I got an email from Givenchy saying I was able to buy this as a pre-launch. Only on the Givenchy UK website did I see this, so I don't know if it's available anywhere else, but the UK website sent me an email saying I could order on the pre-launch only on their website. So I've gone on and I didn't buy their previous one, which was very similar. And the title of the previous one was the Givenchy PRISME LIBRE Skin Caring Glow. This one is called the Givenchy PRISME LIBRE Glow Serum Foundation. So it's got the word serum in it, so that's the main difference as far as I can tell in the description. But when I've read the description of the previous version, they do sound quite similar, so I think it's just more skincare infused ingredients, which is the trend at the moment with most brands. So I can't compare it to the previous one, I'm afraid. This is my first time trying this, but I did like the description of this. But what I did struggle with was my shade match, as usual. So some information on this. It says it's powered by micro hyaluronic acid and BC ceramide yuzu extract, if you know what that is, because I don't. It says it gives you a 24-hour blurring glow and 24-hour wear, waterproof and transfer resistant. There are 30 different shades, so I'll pop a picture up of all the shades for you now. It also says that the serum in this gives you 48 hours of hydration with those ingredients I mentioned, the hyaluronic acid and the ceramides. And it says that this is inspired by the Icon PRISME LIBRE 4-colour powder. Now that's what got me interested because I love that powder, the original anyway. So this foundation integrates 4 different pigments to even and correct your imperfections, infused with the Haus's prismatic light technology. The foundation's soft focus powder and light reflecting pearls blur and illuminate. So that's the description of the powder, but that's the concept inside this foundation. So it's a serum foundation which improves your skin whilst you're wearing it, even after you've taken it off, it promises. This will blur and glow, boosted by these powerful ingredients. The formula improves your skin during and after wear. In just 3 weeks, your skin is 4 times more radiant, more blurred and more visibly hydrated, even after removing, as I've said, because this description is repeating itself. So the key ingredients we've already talked about, with hyaluronic acid, which can penetrate deep into the layers of the epidermis for long-lasting hydration. And then this yuzu extract, it says it's combined with the hyaluronic acid because this helps you to maintain plump and bouncy skin. And the 4 colour powders, just like with the powder, should neutralise your colour imperfections. And the light technology that the powder has, this also has, which will help to diffuse the light for natural looking radiance. So that's basically the description of this. And I just looked quickly back at what I said about the shades and why I struggled a little bit and which one to get. And I think the one I've got is a little bit too dark, but I'm not terribly unhappy with it from trying it yesterday. So I will be keeping it and I won't be buying another one, but I could have gone one down. So my reason for being not sure on this one is the lightest shade on this is 0N. That's described as most fair with neutral undertones. And then the next one, 0.5N, very fair with neutral undertones. And the next one after that, again, most fair with cool. Now I could have gone for most fair with cool, but most fair is their lightest. They have most fair, then they have very fair, and then they have fair. Now I'm normally fair. I'm not normally a level below fair. So there are 3 levels of fair with this foundation, which is why I've gone for 1.5C, which is fair to light with cool undertones. I have been trying to buy only cool undertones this year by way of an experiment, because neutral has been leaning too yellow on me. I'm right in the middle, if you don't know this channel, in between neutral and cool, so I'm always trying to find which one is going to work. Sometimes the cool is bang on, sometimes it's too pink, sometimes the neutral is bang on, and sometimes it's too yellow. So I've gone for 1.5C, fair to light with cool undertones, but I probably could have gone for 0.5C, which is very fair with cool undertones. But when I looked at the picture they provide, which I'll pop a picture up for you now, of all the models wearing this, which was the other way I was helping trying to make my decision. If you look at these pictures, the top row, 4th one across, that is the 0.5C, and if you look at that lady's complexion, it looks lighter than mine. If you look at the second row, at the second picture in, that is the shade I got. I thought her picture looked much more like me, a much closer match. I also looked at reviews of the previous formula and saw people online trying out different shades for their complexion, people with the same sort of tone to me, what shades they went for. So that was another thing that led me to choose this one. So I do think I could have gone for the lighter one. So again, I don't think the pictures were that accurate, but I'm not massively unhappy, like I said. So there's my long shade description story for you. So here is a pump of the foundation. So you can see it's not a terrible match for me, but just maybe slightly too deep. So yesterday I applied this with a sponge, so today I'm going to try a different application, and I will be showing you my check-in video at the end of this video so you can see why I'm making these tweaks. I didn't have a problem applying it with a sponge. I thought it applied really nicely, but I did get some issues with caking, which I'll show you in the check-in video. So that's why I'm changing things up. Actually, before I even put the foundation on, I am going to go in with the Tom Ford Soft Matte Primer. I've already got my face base from Bobbi Brown on, and yesterday I didn't use that. I used a lighter one, the Serumizer from MAC. So I've been using the Serumizer from MAC when I'm trying to use a lighter primer, moisturizing primer, and I did get caking in this area, so usually my solution for that is the Bobbi Brown face base, which is why I've gone in with that today. But I also had some of my pores becoming more visible throughout the day with this foundation, so I'm putting some of this Tom Ford primer, which is quite good at dealing with pores. I'm putting this just in the areas where my pores show up, nowhere else, just there, because I don't want to overload my face. And the foundation is now starting to roll down my hand, so it's not massively thick, this one. It is quite a liquid foundation. So I'm going in with the Sonia G Jumbo base, patting this into the back of my hand, and I'm going to put it on just one side to start. So you can see here this shade match. It's not terrible, but it could be a bit lighter. But once it's blended out, I'm actually happy with it. Like I said, I'd rather it be a bit too dark than a bit too light, because too light always looks terrible on me. So you can see the brush strokes a bit with this, whereas with the sponge I thought it went in a bit more neatly. As soon as you pat it in, within seconds they've gone. So very, very quick to get rid of the brush strokes, which is why I think both will work. So this is extremely lightweight. It does feel like you are just adding a very, very thin layer of skincare to your skincare base, basically. Very sort of refreshing feel. It's got that strong Givenchy perfume sort of scent, so you do need to like that, but I personally like it. Very pleasant sort of fresh fragrance. My first reaction yesterday when I tried this was that I think it's beautiful actually. I think this is a very, very natural formula. as you'd expect really from one that's describing itself as a serum. I forgot to mention this is £48 by the way, and made in France. I'm just trying to look through the website to see if it says what the coverage is supposed to be, because it says about giving you a blurring glow, but it doesn't seem to mention how much coverage it offers. But I would say it's nearly medium. It's light to medium, but once you add a bit more, you could bring it up to a medium. So if you see the shade now on my cheek and my neck, it's not a terrible difference, but I do think if you're my skin twin, go down to that next one, because this is slightly too deep, but only ever so slightly. I do worry when it's this close that if you go down you might find it's too light, so it's a little bit of a gamble there, isn't it? But anyway, I'm not unhappy with this because I always add bronzers and everything, so it always works out well, so I'm quite happy with the shade really. So here is the one pump on this side. This is the coverage I'm getting. You can see it's giving me a lovely, healthy, natural glow, which I think is very beautiful. Very comfortable, very beautiful, very easy to apply. If you compare the side that I haven't done, you can see it's corrected everything as it promises. It's definitely balanced the redness in my face here, and well, I'm very happy with it. I think it is beautiful. So I'm going to now go in with one more pump on the other side. I will add a bit more after that then to build up, to show you if it can build a bit in the areas where I might just need a little bit more coverage. So I'm just starting by patting this. It's definitely one that needs to be patted in, which is why it works well with a sponge. But it also works well with a brush, so I think whichever you prefer in my opinion. Just instantly correcting all the redness there on my nose and cheek. Very, very good. And straight away I've seen caking in this area, so I'm actually removing it. This is the area I had the problem with yesterday. I'm not getting it anywhere else. It's very strange that I'm only getting it there, but I'm removing it and I'm just going to go in with a foundation only. So no Tom Ford primer and no face base. It's very weird that it's only arguing with this part of my face. Anyway, I'm going to reapply it and see if it goes on better without anything underneath. And so far that's looking quite a bit better on the chin, but we'll wait to see how it dries down because I didn't see it straight away. So we'll come back to look at that at the end, but that's definitely looking better, which means that this seems to be better with nothing underneath basically. Even though where I put the Tom Ford and it's sitting on top of the Bobbi Brown face base, it was absolutely fine here, so that's a bit of a mystery. Maybe it's just my skin being very odd. Anyway, that looks much better. So here is a full face of just one pump on each side, so 2 pumps in total. So here is the other side, now complete. On the other side. Isn't that a beautiful, beautiful glow? Everything's corrected without feeling like I've got a lot of makeup on. I think now I see my overall complexion, I do think again I prefer that cooler, that shade down. But definitely with the rest of my makeup it looks absolutely fine. And I loved the way yesterday I could just see this glow all day, even with powders on. It really does give you a lovely, lovely glow. It's a beautiful foundation. But I will show you if you can build it up a little bit more. So at the moment, I do think it's fairly medium coverage, I do. So I don't think it needs to be built up an awful lot, but I don't think you're ever going to expect more than medium with this. So I'm just tapping a little bit here on the cheeks. And that is building up actually. I do think you'd have to be careful with layering this up. I don't think it likes to be layered too much, but a little bit and just pat it in, and it's definitely giving me more coverage. I've got quite a lot more coverage on my cheek there and there, so it's a good medium now I'd say, but I wouldn't say it ever goes further than that. So there we go, a full face of the new Givenchy Serum Foundation. I'll now go on to do the rest of my base and come back to show you how this is looking with powder and everything else that I'm going to apply. So I've gone in with some contour and concealer, and now I'm just going to set it so you can see how this looks set. Excuse the state of this, but this is coming to an end. This is my Givenchy PRISME LIBRE in shade 3, the pressed, in shade 1, the pressed powder. So this is the pastel shades, and very well loved, as you can see. So I thought this would be the perfect thing to use with it, this or the loose. And I do still have the loose that isn't shiny, but I don't want to use that on camera really when it's not available anymore, and the new one is shiny, but I do find that this pressed one is absolutely fine. So anyone who's missing this loose powder, the pressed one in 01 seems fine for me. So just going into the T-zone area, you can see how this looks set. Personally, I feel this needs to be set because I'm very aware of the sort of tackiness from this. It's got all that skincare and it just feels very tacky. So I wouldn't be able to wear this without setting it, just because of the way it feels, not the way it looks. I think it looks lovely, but my hair will stick to my face and I'll just not be comfortable. So it has to be set. But I can tell you now from trying this out yesterday, the glow really comes through the powder. So I don't need to go completely mad with the amount, but I will continue by setting the rest of the face just a bit. I also think that after applying this powder, the shade just looks absolutely fine now, so I don't feel like it's the wrong shade on me. But that's how it looks with a light dusting of this setting powder. It sits very nicely on top. I do think that my pores are still quite visible here though, even with a bit of powder. So I don't think the Tom Ford primer has really helped me there. It's not really bothering me, but I feel like they're more visible than with other foundations that have got more full coverage and maybe have a matte finish. So this is not particularly brilliant for pores on me, but so far in all the areas that I have problems with, and I had problems with early application, it looks fine. What I did want to check, even though I've got powder now everywhere, is the transfer proof. I did check transfer proof yesterday at the end of the day, and there was no sign of the foundation coming off. So obviously this is powder underneath. It still feels tacky, you know. So no, that is definitely foundation on my tissue. That's not the powder. So I'm not sure about the transfer proof claim. By the end of the day it was, but certainly not instantly. It needs time to dry down. So I'll look again at the end of the video. I'll go over this area again. I won't put any more powder there. I didn't really put much there anyway, which is why it's so tacky. I will check that again at the end of this video to see. But so far it's not transfer proof. Anyway, I'll go on and do the rest of my makeup, and then we can look at the mascara and lipstick. So I've gone in with the rest of my makeup, and now with my eyes I'm going to finish with the mascara, the new one from Haus Labs. So some information about this one first. So this is the Haus Labs B Structural Volumizing and Lengthening Mascara. This is £27 and it's in $29, and it's in Black Onyx, the shade. So it says this is a volumizing mascara that's good for your lashes, the world's first vegan bee silk powered formula designed to deliver major lash volume and length with a fortifying coat that strengthens with continued use. You can achieve a weightless lifted lash that lasts 12 hours, easy to build and remove. And the vegan bee silk in this, which is trademarked to the Haus Labs brand, is a bioengineered polypeptide that wraps the lashes in an invisible web-like matrix for soft, flexible hold, buildable volume and strengthens your lashes. It's also got rice protein, which helps to promote hair health, and panthenol, which is derived from vitamin B5, which is known to condition and nourish the skin. So this promises 5 times fanned out volume, flexible hold, weightless, fibre-free lengthening, fortifying your lashes with continued use, which I've already said. It also says clump and flake free. It's also alcohol free. It says this won't smudge or transfer, and it's resistant to sweat and humidity. ophthalmologist tested, hypoallergenic, safe for sensitive eyes and contact lens wearers. This is made in Italy, created with kindness. It's clean, cruelty-free and vegan. So I've actually tested this out over the last few days, and I try to do that because mascaras often change after a few days and become a very different sort of formula. My first go with this was okay, second go was better, so today will be my third. And I can definitely tell you this is very easy to remove. That's definitely true. Very, very easy to remove. And I can't obviously tell you that this is going to improve the health of my lashes because this is day 3. But obviously I quite approve of having ingredients that do that. I always put lash serums on to try and grow my very small lashes. I haven't shown you the wand, have I? Here's the wand. It's quite a thick, bushy wand. So you do need to be a bit careful with application. What I found when I did this yesterday is I didn't like the way it looked when I went in with the second layer. I've just preferred it with that first layer, but I will show you. And I did feel it started to clump a little bit with a second layer. But you should be able to see, hopefully, because I always feel it's so hard to get across on camera. Hopefully you can see that it is separating, it is lengthening, and my lashes are lifting up, which does support the weightless claim, because a lot of mascaras, my lashes refuse to stay up because they do not like the weight. So that's given me a very good lift, and I think actually now on day 3 that's the best lift I've had so far from my first layer. Definitely very, very good at separation with just the one layer. So there's one eye done and one eye not done. Hopefully one of these images I'm trying to create for you here will let you see how this mascara looks. I'm very pleased with that actually. I'm very pleased with it. It's very comfortable. It's a mascara I'm completely unaware of throughout the day. So I often find with mascaras, I just want to start rubbing my eyes. They do irritate me, which is why I don't wear lashes. And I don't like very clumpy mascaras or heavy mascaras. But I also don't have very big lashes. So these are definitely making my lashes more visible, definitely giving length and separation, and very weightless. So it does really tick all of that. And I can also tell you over the last 2 days, I've had no smudging, no flaking, so that's excellent. And you can see from me doing all of this that I'm not getting any transfer of it either already, so that's quite good. So I will go on to do the other side. So I do feel like these give you really full lashes as well, so it's doing everything I want it to without it looking clumpy and heavy. I just got a little bit underneath my eye there, but that's because this is such a thick brush that when I'm getting into the root, I actually went into my eye. So be aware of that if you're not used to these very thick brushes. So that is how both eyes are looking with just one coat. Now, like I said, I wasn't as keen on a second layer. I will do it to show you. Maybe today will be slightly different, but I actually like this first coat and I don't feel I need a second coat. I don't want a second coat. So if it wasn't for doing this review now, I would completely leave it as it is. I'm very happy with the way that these look. These are giving me the length that I need and want, and I'm happy with that. I do like mine to look quite natural. But anyway, I'm going to go in with the second one to see if it works a bit better today. And so far, it doesn't seem to be clumping and it does seem to be working. So maybe I've just hit that day 3 stage of mascara when it's really coming into its own. Yeah, that's not too bad actually. It's not looking clumpy. And that's definitely given me a bit more length again. So I'll do the same on the other side. Same on the other side. So I'm very happy with that actually. I wouldn't go in for a third coat. I definitely wouldn't want more than that. But At the end, when they're fully dry, I will go in with my lash curler to bring them up a little bit more, because I just prefer that look. And also I've been using a growth serum that's quite effective at the moment, but it's actually giving me almost too many lashes here for some reason. And they do come down, they almost curl down because they're growing so much. So I definitely will do something to try and lift it a little bit more, but I'll just put the lipstick on next and do that right at the end. But overall, so far, very, very pleased with this. It's doing everything it promises, and I'm very pleased that it's giving me lash health, because I like to apply serum at night, like I said, so I feel like I'm continuing that by using this during the day, which is great because my lashes are just not very good. So doing everything I can to make them fuller and make them grow and be healthy is brilliant. So at the moment, I'm very, very, very happy with this one, and I can see it being a regular mascara, so that's really good news. So let me go on to the lips. And someone told me that these aren't new shades and that they've just relaunched them in new packaging, but I couldn't find these shades in the previous formula. So if anyone knows anything about this, please let me know. But these were launched as new shades in the description. So I don't know if I just couldn't find the original, but anyway, there were 4 shades in this packaging that were launched, so I've just picked up one of them. So this is the Prada Soft Matte Lipstick, and I've got the shade Amaranto. And the website says these are the latest members of Prada's Beauty Soft Matte Lipstick family of 3 new shades, inspired by the brand's iconic browns. Each colour is created using a white base and only 3 pigments, replicating the luminosity of soft-hued versions of the Haus's signature nylon fabric. The feel on the lips is as weightless as clouds, courtesy of the microfit technology that allows it to glide on seamlessly. You get 3.8 grams of product, it's made in France, and it's got this limited edition brown metallic Prada packaging. So this is a matte finish buildable coverage with bifidus extract and jojoba oil, which will reinforce the lip barrier function and can be applied to cheeks as well for a blush effect. And this is also designed to be refillable, it says. So, oh, there we go. Fairly standard sort of design these days for refillables, so that's good. So you can use this case for different shades, which is excellent. And we have the green interior there of Prada. Let's see if it's the same in the lid. Yeah, we're getting the green inside. So got the Prada symbol there inside the cap as well, and then on the top. I'll get a bit more close up so you can see the sort of embossing on this, because there is embossing on it, it's just very, very, very small. And here is Amaranto. It did say in the description I've just read out to you, brand new iconic browns. And this, it's a brown case, but that's not a brown lip, is it? It just said inspired by their iconic browns. So is this a brown pink, would you describe it as? It doesn't look like that so much on my hand, but anyway, I'll put this on. Super, super creamy formula. Not as thick as the Westman Atelier, if you know that one, and not quite as creamy, but still very creamy and very comfortable. I do find the tips of these quite odd. You can use the sort of edge of it to line. So it does work, but it just feels a bit odd having the sort of flat edge for application. But anyway, it's not difficult to apply. So I've used it to line as well, so I don't have any liner on, and that is Amaranto. Very, very comfortable, very complementary to the lines on my lips, not emphasising them, but also not drying. Really like this actually, very pretty. What do you think? Going back to my lashes, I'm going to go in with my curler now to just see if I can lift them a tiny bit more now they're dry. Yeah, see how that has just lifted them a little bit more on that side? Very happy with that mascara. I really do like it, and I think it does exactly what it promises to. So this took about 3 weeks, by the way, to get here. I ordered this on launch day, and that's how long it's taken to get here. So I ordered this from Haus Labs direct. So it does take a very long time if you're ordering from them, but worth the wait, I think, because I'm really happy with it. And yeah, I'll definitely keep on using that one. That one and the new Chanel Brown mascara, the only two I'm using this month. I'm loving the Chanel Brown, but I really like this too, so I'll alternate between the two, and I'll give you an update at the end of the month if I'm still enjoying it as much. And now let's look at the foundation, and I've got a wear test to show you that I did yesterday, so I'll play that clip now and we can discuss how it's lasted yesterday and how we think it looks today. Here's the clip. Hi everyone, so it's actually been 9 hours since I first put on this new Givenchy foundation, and I've come in for a check-in and I've looked straight in the mirror and I thought, wow, it looks beautiful. I love the way it's looking, I love the glow I've got. So from this distance, I think it looks great. It seems to have just worn off a tiny bit on the chin looking from a distance, but not too much, enough for me to think that it's done well. But when I look in the magnification mirror, I've got quite a lot of severe caking all around here, almost like this area here in a box. So this is definitely an area where I tend to get problems. I've got a mixture of dry and sort of greasy skin in this area because my T-zone can have grease issues. You know, I'd say I don't particularly have that today, but all my upper lip area is dry and cakey. So from here and above, I think it looks beautiful. But from there below, I don't think it looks very nice, unfortunately. So I will wear this again a few times and maybe try, I'm trying to think now, I used the MAC Serumizer today. Maybe I should go for the Bobbi Brown face base next time. So when I apply this in my test for you today, I probably will be switching up the primer, and I can let you know in my end of month review how I'm getting on. But initial thoughts, it's worn pretty well throughout the day, and without a close-up look I do think it looks absolutely stunning. I really like it, but when you look up close it's not really that good. I'm not sure if you can see that in the close-up there, but I'm not very happy with that. I can also see more texture becoming more visible in these areas, even though I can't particularly feel oils coming through. So that just shows that the foundation sort of sunk into pores and made them more visible. Also the lines here, if you can see there, is really emphasising the lines and sinking into them. So it's just been a bit of a disappointment from there down altogether really. So I'm not sure if this one would be a favourite, but if I wasn't looking up close it probably would be, because I love the way it looks. I think it's got a beautiful natural finish. It's very nice. I'm also wearing today the Westman Atelier Petal collection. So if you saw my review of that, which was the most recent video I uploaded, just for reference, this is how my cheek is looking 9 hours later. So I haven't got any sort of powder on top of that last coat of that. So this is the blush here and the highlighter here, and somebody asked me about how tacky it feels. It still feels mildly tacky, enough to not bother me, and if you know me, I get easily bothered by tackiness, so that's looking pretty good. So just an update on that for you. Also the Chantecaille eyeshadow, how that's lasted very well. And another thing, which isn't actually to do with this video, but I thought it was a perfect way of putting this clip in. I had a request from someone called Sarah asking me if the Westman Atelier Petal lipstick was similar to the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Fair. So what I've actually done is I've put the Charlotte Tilbury on this side of my lip, and I've put the Westman Atelier Petal on this side of the lip. So for me, the colour match is pretty much the same. The difference is the finish. You get more of a shiny finish with the Charlotte Tilbury, whereas you're getting that thick creamy finish with the Westman Atelier. But if you're just comparing shades, they are very similar, which must be why I loved it so much when I tried it, because I love this petal lipstick. And the Charlotte Tilbury Fair has been one of the only lipsticks that stayed on my desk since the minute I got it, because it's my perfect sort of shade. So there we go. Very similar, and that was a good shout asking me to compare that. There was one other comparison which I'm also just going to add in here, and that was the Donetta Myrex Lowlighter. This one is in the shade Unbothered, so I'm just going to compare this to the Westman Atelier Petal highlighter. If you want to see the two of them side by side, here they are. Definitely a very different finish with the Westman Atelier. I'd say it's more of a sheer and wet finish. The Danessa Myricks has an instant dry down. So here is Danessa Myricks and here is Petal Westman Atelier, and you can see that sort of wet finish that it gives with a slightly more tacky finish. So if you prefer an instant dry down, you're going to prefer the Danessa Myricks. The Danessa Myricks is definitely more pigmented, but it does have that dry down. So it really is what you're looking for, but this is giving more of a wet look, and it doesn't completely dry down because I can still feel it, but it really is very, very small amount of tackiness. It's not bothering me. So anyway, that's the comparisons of those, so I hope that was helpful. So I'll now return you to me talking about the reviews from today. See you there. So you can see from that video, it looked really nice from a distance, but not so good close up, especially from there down. And I must admit, even now looking more closely, like I've got the same magnification mirror here in front of me. So if I turn it now and have a quick look, even now with the skincare completely removed, if you remember, from this section of my face, it's looking a bit cakey here. So it does seem like it's caking on me whether I've got skincare or not. Whether it's not caking so much here, but it's already looking a bit cakey, so I know that that means it'll look worse by this evening. I'm not going to give up on this. I will try it more, but it's not working very well for me. I think it looks beautiful. If it was just from there up, it's a perfect foundation, but it's just around here. I don't like the way I can see my texture here more than usual, which I spot straight away, and that definitely looked worse by the evening. And there's definitely caking in this area of the face. And I've tried lots of moisture, no moisture, light moisture, as in moisturiser now. And I've tried nothing. So nothing is stopping that from happening. So unfortunately, I don't think this one's very good for me. So I've got, like I said, combination skin, which is mostly dry with a slightly oily T-zone. But I think maybe it's the time of year, but because I'm having more problems with dryness with it being winter and the heating and everything. Maybe in the summer this would be better for me, so maybe I could retry it then, but at the moment I don't think this is going to be great for me. But please do look out for my end of month review, and maybe your skin type will be completely different and you'll have no problems whatsoever. Maybe if you've got more of an oily skin, you might actually get on better. I think it's the dry areas of my skin that are not happy with this. So anyway, any updates on this I will definitely give you in my end of month review, and if I try it again later in the year I will update you. You noticed hopefully in that clip that I was just quickly looking at some of the differences between the Westman Atelier lipstick that I tried on in my previous video. I just wanted to add that in very quickly. And one of the other requests I had from that video, I tried on the Chantecaille eyeshadow palette in that video yesterday, and that was this one here, the Diana Eye Trio. And somebody asked me how they would work as toppers. So that's basically exactly what I've got on my eyes today. I've got the Lisa Eldridge Liquid Silk in Eye Only, which is my favourite out of all of the shades. And I've got that as my eye base today. And I've used the brown shade here from the Chantecaille Trio as my topper. So that is how that looks as a topper over the Liquid Silk. So I think it definitely works well as a topper. So just so you know, because I wanted to show that to somebody, but I thought it was a good request and other people might find it helpful, so I thought I'd add it into this video. And obviously you've seen in the previous clip how I compared the two lipsticks, the Westman Atelier and the Charlotte Tilbury, and how similar they were. So just quickly adding those in because I thought it wouldn't just help the person who asked, maybe the people who watched my previous video would also find that helpful. So just quickly adding that in. Anyway, back to today. So the foundation fully reviewed now. The mascara is a winner, absolutely loving it. And the Prada lipstick, really love the packaging, can't find it anywhere. Really love the packaging, love the formula. I get a reasonable longevity out of this lipstick as well. I've worn this before and it's lasted me past a drink and a bit of food. So it does last a good few hours and it doesn't dry my lips. It's very comfortable and just lovely packaging. So yes, really like that one. Can't say anything bad about it at all actually. So everything's good apart from the foundation, unfortunately. So anyway, I do hope you found this helpful, and if you have, please do hit the like button, and if you're not subscribed, I'd love it so much if you did join my channel and subscribe. That would be super helpful. If you're already subscribed, thank you for being here at the end of one of my videos again. I really appreciate you being here, and I do hope to see all of you again for my next video. Take care everybody, bye!